Oh, there it is. It is Abraxas Precipice. This is where we play the Expanse role-playing game forever. And, welcome to Theia Reborn, episode 8. We have a fun episode tonight. Kind of the crew's left Ganymede. They have their contract they're going, and they're heading towards Medina station. So we're gonna have a lot of fun with that tonight. But as for the last few sessions, we have a guest player that I would like to have introduce themselves. So tell them who you are, what you do, and where they can find you.
Hi, my name is Maria. I'm a UC Merced biology student. I've had a really fun time playing these last few sessions with all of you guys. And if you want to get in contact, you can find my Twitter. It's Kairos Clares, and it's there. So you should check that out.
It is in the chat. Yes, if a good opportunity, reach out if you have an actual play you're interested in doing. Maria, I'm sure would love to hear more about actual play opportunities. They're fascinating. They're out there. You have to kind of look for them. In addition, we have a Patreon. By far, this is the best way to support our stream. You can see the link there below. And I always mentioned too, if you listen to the podcast, it should be in the podcast description as well. So, but our Patreon is by far the best way to support us. We also have a Ko-fi if you want to shoot us a one-time support. We have our colonial vote, which just ended, number 5. Number 6 is going to go live tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to seeing, I haven't written number 6 yet because a lot of it depends on what the crew decides to do tonight. So there's a nice little dialogue going on between our fans and our crew. And not everybody has all the information at any one time, I've discovered. Speaking of Patreon, special Oye Beltalota to our good friend William, who supports us at our high tier. We appreciate that. And last but not least, Beltalota, yeah. Last but not least, on Sunday, I am game mastering a game as a collaboration between the Expanse role-playing game fan community and Green Ronin Publishing and Abraxas Precipice, where we are playing the winner, if you will. Everyone kind of got together and voted in the community for our favorite one-page adventure, and our buddy Guillermo won, and it's going to be, we're going to play his adventure. We are playing with a great cast of crew. We have from Green Ronin, we have Steve Kenson, we have Ian Lemke, two of the major developers and writers for the RPG. And we have founder, president, the man himself, Chris Pramus, playing as well, which is super cool. On top of that, from the role-playing game community, fan community, we have Odin, who is the guy that runs admins, a lot of this stuff, puts together. He's gonna be playing with us. The winner, Guillermo, I finally got a hold of him. He was kind of hard to get a hold of, but we found him. and he's going to be playing with us as well. And then finally, from one of our friend shows, Merrick Moore, who runs Skyhammer Press and Massive Damage Adventures here on Twitch, and runs Hellbreakers, an Expanse mercenary role-playing game, will be playing with us as well. So that's our crew. We're going to play a one-shot, about 3-hour play at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on here, and also all the Green Ronin streaming. So we're going to have it across all the streams. It'll be a lot of fun. But we're looking forward to that on Sunday, April 2nd, I believe that is. But that's what we're doing this week, and then we're off next week, and we'll be back with full-blown episodes of Abraxas Precipice. Everybody, anything else I should mention before we go to stuff?
It's a lot of eggheads on that stream. That's gonna be a good one to watch.
Yes. It's interesting because the characters are making, like, I think there's only one scientist on there so far. But as far as, so whether or not they're smart people playing, by all means. But whether or not they're going to play smart people, that's a different story. There's multiple dimensions to the storytelling here. So, but anyways, we're going to go ahead and do our opening sequence, and we will be right back. So the Sinclair has left Ganymede several weeks ago and is making its way towards the ring for the transit into the ring space, still called the slow zone for whatever reason, and to board the Medina station and deliver the various substrate, I believe it is what you guys are carrying. Was that it? Substrate? From one.
Lots of it.
All the dirt. We're carrying all the dirt from Good Soil Incorporated, a small company on Ganymede that is responsible for processing a good substrate. As you fly in at high speeds across, having passed Jupiter, that's where the boys get more stupider. And so I can never stop making that joke. If you grew up hearing the rhymes, it's stuck in your head. And then, but you're making the transit past Uranus and such like that too. So the transit, the ring's a little far out, a few AUs past that. But in doing so, was there any kind of business that you guys want to take up and such?
I'm gonna do my usual monthly check-in with Dad.
Okay. Okay.
And just kind of not really talk about what we're doing, but just hey, we've got our own ship back, and kind of talk about that and how the crew is really working together, and maybe some stuff about how I see why his career was so important with him and his crew, and just some random feelings about being a captain, being in charge and having to make decisions and things like that. So it's kind of one of those hey, I miss you. You're right a lot of stuff, but on the other hand, you're not right about a bunch of stuff. And this is what I've done with the knowledge you gave me, so I can make different and better choices. Blah blah blah.
So yeah, you go and shoot a message to your dad, and you get one back after a week or so, or a few days later on, and basically he's he kind of comes up and he says, well, you're doing what you got to do. He's like, just it's always hard to look at the bigger picture. You have to think outside of the ship and where the ship is in relation to everything else around it, because most of your people inside will only know what's going on inside the ship. They might have concerns out there, but their concerns will be focused on their friends and family and political leanings, whatever it is. But make sure that you don't get that myopic tunnel vision on those things. They do matter, but at times you're gonna have to make things with the greater good, the bigger mission and such like that too. Do you want to relay to him about your crew's loss a few months ago? You lost a member?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he just kind of says, you made the right call. You saved as many as you could. It's thinking about whether or not your fault is the wrong thing. Just know that it happened and try to prevent it from happening in the future. That's the best you can do. So he kind of gives you a heart to heart about it. But he does kind of come off with an attitude that he thinks this stuff beyond the ring is kind of a fad.
Yeah.
He's a little curmudgeon-y about it. And
okay,
thinks it's yeah, pretty much, yeah. It's kind of that kind of circumstance, yeah. I mean, and he's getting up there. He's got to be, your dad's got to be in his 90s, so he's got a few more decades, but he's still kicking around. So okay, I mean, is there anything else about him you wanted me to flesh out, or was that pretty good?
No, that's really good. Just kind of, I figured that it's okay to say, hey, I could have listened about some stuff earlier, but I am putting lessons that he's given me, lessons I've learned into practice, and that I appreciate that. So, he can do that. And then to pass love on to my sister, my half sister, my stepmom, that kind of just general stuff. By now, my sister does not want to come out in space.
No. She's probably graduated too, right?
Yeah.
It's been a few years, so she's graduated. She's currently doing prep work, I don't think we ever established what she was studying, but we're gonna say that she was studying psychology. So she's doing therapeutic work for trying to reacclimate people into the workforce, because a lot of people don't work on Earth. So it's trying to get people prepped to be ready to if they're gonna go out into space or have a job, that are now becoming more and more plentiful, that they're ready to take on those jobs. and so it's kind of a counseling position, I guess.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
That's look. I'm making this game up as we're playing here, and this sounds like something you have to have people do that shit. You have to, have people
show up on time, wear something nice.
Something nice, yeah. You know,
she's your job counselor.
It's like a job counselor. It's like a transition into situation. Yeah, so very cool. Anyone else? We have Medea, Wyatt, and Waxor, and Zenny and Yan have been kind of quiet, taking it easy.
I mean, Waxer, you know, I'll probably try to hunt for some news, but do I still have? Is that Cece, the pixie dust dealer? Was he on Medina last time? Remember there was a pixie dust dealer that I had sort of befriended. I think he would. Yeah.
Yeah. Was he the one that bull spaced?
Oh, was he? Oh, he might have. Yeah.
So
okay.
It's
nobody's answering. It's weird.
He seems like he can't speak for some reason. But no, there is what you do kind of find out though in doing some research on Medina Station, because Medina is not the behemoth. The behemoth was a military ship. This is now more of like a floating city, and you see more and more pictures come back. They have fields on it now. There's like an actual like marketplace / kind of like bar scene on it. Like it's kind of booming. It's weird seeing what Belters would do with this much surface area.
Yeah.
And
right.
Like a continuous like an actual like day and night cycle that actually functions. It's pretty fascinating. And they don't have to really maintain the ship like movement. They just have to keep it like the drum spinning. But like the amount of like the fusion reactors were built to push these like, you know, huge engines like the size of your ship, like it's 8 of them. And it doesn't have to do that anymore. So the fusion drives will last forever. Like that's kind of the thing. They're over-engineered for what they have to do, which is just spin a drum, or basically run a very large carnival ride for several thousand years. So it's pretty easy. But there is a burgeoning black market on Medina Station with people coming in and out. That element of Belter culture certainly has not fallen out of favor, especially with the New Worlds.
Yeah.
And the question now is not so much smuggling stuff out, but the smuggling stuff through and in. But there's still a lot of control over who's coming and going and such. So
I'm curious about like, what vacuum was left, like who would be in charge, and then I guess I would sniff out just some ship weaponry. I mean, we're kind of looking for like, torpedoes. Or anything for the ship.
That's not the kind of thing people would communicate to you over comms over distances like this. Yes.
No.
No, they're not. But yeah, it's called the Soak. The Soak is SOUK is the name of the marketplace / bar scene / entertainment district inside the drum of this place. And there's like they have a full-blown hospital. They have everything. I mean, it's impressive. It's not like a small not a small operation anymore too. But there's a variety of people that kind of work there too. There's an emerging hierarchy of people being elected to operate it. So.
Yeah, so I'm talking to Mick Michaels just about the Sulk. Oh yeah, got this new place. Like we're gonna go check it out. Oh, it's gonna be great.
No man, it'd be good to see new scenery, and he's like he's kind of looking at it, and he's like he's been trying to like line up where you guys camped out on the inside the drum the one time.
Oh yeah.
But like, cause it looks completely different, and it's like there's no terrain to like monitor. But it's weird seeing like them growing. Like you've seen kind of food grown on Ganymede, like in hydroponic systems and everything like that too, like where they do the vertical farming. This is like this looks like the kind of stuff you saw in like the depictions on the Mormon art years back, where it's like fields of like grains and everything, and they literally have that growing on the station as a field versus like vertical farms. So it's a little we'll say vertigo inducing. The Belters, yeah. Agoraphobia is definitely a real thing they have. So
yeah.
But you do investigate this, and it seems like there is a black market on Medina, but it's not one you're going to be able to communicate with from out here, or at least anyone. And if they were communicating, get ready to be arrested when you get on board. Kind of thing.
I'm here for the torpedoes. Hey. It's like right in here.
We like to give you these complimentary handcuffs. As opposed to the lay, you get handcuffs. Yeah, that kind of situation. Yeah. So, Wyatt or Medea, what
I don't know, Medea, she doesn't really want to go anywhere, but she wants to stick with all the like machinery and equipment. She doesn't really know where she is either. Kind of just followed everyone.
So, I mean, you're out in the middle. You're out as far as you've ever gone. This is past.
Yeah.
You're now past Uranus. The ring transit's out there. To go see the ring is kind of an interesting element. You have seen these data sets of like the alien tech, but to actually go and utilize this like quasi wormhole, whatever the fuck it is really unclear what it actually is.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess she'd be pretty interested to check that out too. So she might.
Yeah, to give if you're not familiar with the expanse, but the space inside here, there's a giant alien station in the middle of it, just a giant ball that no one can penetrate, no one can figure out what it does. But it seems to have the capability of limiting kinetic energy. Like it can stop a ship immediately, like a thousands of G negative force quickly if it wants to. Don't piss it off. And then the edge of the space are like just black. There's like these little ring gates around it, but like 1,300 of them. But the edges are black, and it's unclear what happens when you just go through the black. It doesn't stop you, but things don't come back through. Like if you stick a pole through it, that part of the pole just comes back with nothing. Okay. So it's unclear what it is, but it is the forbidden sphere to touch. Don't touch the forbidden sphere. Yeah, it's
okay. No touching the forbidden sphere.
And if you're curious, the size of it is about the size of our sun. It's pretty damn big. So. Okay. And the gates themselves are about 1,000 kilometers in diameter, so they're massive.
Okay.
But yeah, there is you kind of look at some of the Medina station information. They need everything. They're looking for everybody and everything. People are going there just to seek jobs beyond the rings. It's the last gas station. They're growing their own food. They're as far as farm tech goes, there is a large hospital there now. I mean, and they literally built a hospital out of the ground, so it's actually part of the interior of the drum. It's weird seeing a hospital that actually comes out of the ground. So there's a lot going on there.
Very cool.
A lot of opportunities.
Should probably want to go wander around.
Okay.
Just
so you start picking out locations to go check out. Okay, cool. Wyatt, you got anything?
I would like to search out or find the captain, see if I can have a one meeting with her.
I mean, there ain't much to do. You guys are just going in a nice arc towards the ring, millions of kilometers. So yeah, you guys got time.
I will request her time at as a official meeting business.
You contact the captain's secretary, which happens to also be the captain. So, you guys want to have a private meeting someplace? Like the med bay and the armory, or are probably the most private locations you guys could talk.
We'll go to the armory.
Okay. Armory. Going to armory.
Sounds great.
How's it going, Cap?
Oh, you know how it is out here. It's nice and quiet, which is the way I like it.
It's kind of nice to have the quiet for a little while.
Yeah, because we always seem to find the chaos. Chaos just finds us.
I think it finds us. I don't think we find it.
Not intentionally, we do not. So it's been nice to have a little downtime because it was pretty weird being, from going to Callisto and then going to Ganymede and just we've had it pretty rough here for a while. So it's been nice to just have a cool journey out here to Medina.
I couldn't agree more. Listen, I have some questions or something I'd like to maybe propose for the ship and the kind of a promotion maybe for a crew member if you think it's in the best interest of the everything. And what
did McMichaels do?
He wants my position. He's gunning for me. I just feel it. Just everywhere I look, he's right behind me. It never fails. No.
Bless his heart. Bless his heart.
He's an odd fella, but he's a good guy.
Yeah, he is. I'm glad he's on board with us. It gets awkward every once in a while, but he's solid.
Couldn't agree more. Speaking of solid, I think we need to, this is my personal opinion, I'll run it by you. I'll let you make the final decision, but I don't think it'd be a bad idea to have at least another tier of leadership, I guess the best way. You got you, then there's me, and then there's nothing underneath. It's just us two have to make the decisions constantly.
Right.
And pretty much from the get-go, it seems like Zinni's wanted to, or she's not wanted to, but I think she's shown that she's capable of moving up to a higher position in the pantheon of everything.
I agree with you. She's grown a lot since she's been with us, and they have proven over and over again, about how good they are, how reliable. Getting through all the situations with Pope. I was more worried about you, but not them. So
they've definitely kept her cool better than me at times.
Yeah, I don't know how she would feel about taking on a leadership role, but I think it's a great idea.
I don't think it'd be a bad idea to, maybe put her up like right below me, but we need to move up Waxer a little bit too. Maybe Chief McMichael's handler, something like that. He needs to get a little extra pay, having to, wrangle him.
I'm down with that. Is it, we could give him a title and a bump. I know that we're family. We've got our solid core family. And, but
it would be nice, though, for, I don't always want to have to make the decisions. And if we got Zinni there to pick up some of that slack where I don't have to choose some of the things that, she thinks with her gut, I think. She's really wise when it comes to the right decision at the right time.
Well, she's got a lot of experience that we don't have.
Exactly.
Where we've come from. And, you're so solid with, tactics and all of that stuff. But I think that her skills are just as important as the skills that we've had. We've had the benefit of being in the military, of structure and things like that. So, they are super smart and great and committed. I am totally down with that. I think that would be a really great move for them if she's up for it.
Especially now that we're going, we don't know where we're going next. What's next? How many people are going to be in this ship with this? We're going to need a better more. Not everything needs to come to you. Not everything needs to come to me.
Right.
But there's times that maybe a decision needs to be made quick, and I think she'd be a good person for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely agree with that.
That's all I got. We still got how many more weeks we got?
You'll be there in about you'll be at Medina in about a week. So.
Yeah, and we could talk to Waxer also, and feel him out, see how he's doing.
Yeah.
And we could do something nice for McMichaels too, because he's actually held it together a lot better than we thought it would for a lot of stuff. So
he's been pretty damn good. He's been pretty damn good.
I think that we could, because we've got people that are sticking with us. So I think in general, it's like, we're not going to promote everybody.
No.
But just doing some appreciation, maybe a little pay, if things work out, a bump in pay, or giving them more say about what we're going to be doing, down planet and things.
Waxer and Zinni have been there through a lot of really bad shit with us.
Yep.
So
yeah,
they're just as, they have just as much right to say anything they want as we do, in my opinion.
Yeah, they weren't there when we started, but just picking them up has been like the best thing for our crew, even though we miss our previous crew. People have had to leave and do their own thing, but they've fully grown into making a family here.
Yeah, I don't see them going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you want to talk to Waxer about this,
yeah, I can have a convo with him.
I haven't seen you guys talk in a while. It's usually running and getting shot, and that's about it.
As you guys adjourn, you get a notification from Zinni that you guys have received a communication from Mason's Haven, a report, and it's marked as urgent.
Ooh, this could be interesting.
Okay.
All right.
Who do you want to have at the meeting with you? Or where do you want to play the message from? Do you want to play it for everybody? Do you want to you want to have Medea in on this, or do you want to have a whole little thing of the galley, or do you want to do it privately?
Let's do a thing in the galley.
Okay.
Just so we're all open, like we say we're going to be open, and then any kind of real decisions can be made privately with the family.
Okay. All right, sounds good. So you head to the galley. You call all hands on deck. The ship's just kind of running by itself. There's nothing to really, the only thing you have to dodge out here is occasionally a helium atom. It's pretty easy. But you call everyone in the galley. Medea, Waxer, and then Jenkins. I forgot you have a new crew member. Peter Jenkins shows up. Your new engineer chief is there. I gotta put him into the sheet. Peter Jenkins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's your chief engineer, I think is what you guys put him on as.
Yeah.
I'll stat him out when I can. But they all kind of sit there, and Peter's like, he kind of says, he's like, all right, so let's see this thing I've been told I've been going through for the last few months. Let's see, he wants to actually see what this whole thing's about. Anyone else have anything to say before the message gets played?
Oh, we got an update. Yeah. Let's see what's happening down there.
Okay.
It's urgent, so hopefully it's good news.
So it pops up with a gentleman, an earther, identified in this thing as Anders Skovsgard. Anders is listed. You guys know him from the colony, basic list of people. He's one of the he's especially in navigation, and so field research is kind of his thing. That is setting up teams to go out into the field and taking them out in the field, making sure they don't get lost. Kind of thing. He's not a survivalist, but he's he knows how to do field research. It's kind of a specialty. And then I'll make sure to keep a map on how to get back home. That's his really important role. And he comes up and he looks a little unshaven, he's had a few days. He has the earther build, so he's more broad shouldered, a little shorter. And he comes up and it looks like it's him at the colony. At Mason's Haven, you can see the makeshift buildings are still there, and the hydroponic center is being built in the background. And he goes, "Hey, I don't know where to start. Well, look, we got a little impatient down here, and the samples we pulled from we pulled out the hydroponic system of the alien tech, the materials. We got impatient and we sent them off to Star's Edge. We weren't sure about having them in proximity, so we don't need the spectral analysis analyzer anymore. But we appreciate if you're bringing one back, we could use it in the future. But right now we don't need it, and we're still waiting for Star's Edge complete analysis of the materials. But they seem promising so far. Look. That's not the main reason I'm calling, or the main reason I'm sending a message. We had an incident. We sent the biosurvey team out in the field. They went by themselves. I was part of the mission, part of the duty of it all. And we had a small run-in with two of our members, Vikas Bhagat and Declan Tanner. Vikas is both of them are part of, they've been on a biosurvey team for decades together. They know how to do it. They both have advanced graduate degrees in the field, know what they're doing. But unfortunately, you can see the attached video file if you want to check it out. And there is actually several files attached to this packet. Do you want to pull the file?
Yeah.
Okay. So it looks like a suit recording. And the recording you have is from Declan Tanner's point of view. And they're just out in the field. It looks like you can see him looking at this stuff called the night ivy, this alien plant thing, whatever it is. And he's just kind of on there talking, and he says something like, oh yeah, he's like, well, Jessica's up on the Jersey Kinross, that's the colony ship up in orbit. And she'll be down hopefully the next crew and everything like that too. And just missing her, man. He's like, I just miss her, Vikas. And Vikas kind of you kind of hear some movement, and Vikas goes, what do you excuse me? And he's like, oh, you see Declan kind of stand up and face Vikas, and he goes, yeah, I'm saying, my wife, I'm just missing her. And looking forward to, I don't know, some alone time be nice, as opposed to these little communiques going up and down. And Vic is kind of goes, he goes, how dare you? And you see Tanner's kind of like, excuse me? And you hear Vicus Bagot basically go, that's my wife. I thought I could trust you. And like you see Vicus like pull his like knife and a lunge at Declan. Basically you see like the vital signs for Tanner go nil as the suit keeps on recording. You see Vicus standing there with like a knife, bloody hand, and like drops it. And you see various crew members, other parts of the biosurvey team come rushing over and are like, or what the fuck and what the hell? And you see them like tackle Vicus Bagot, excuse me, and the recording kind of stops. And so then you see it goes back to the man that was speaking, which whose name I forgot because I'm a bad GM. I have it right here. Anders.
Anders,
and Anders is like, as you can see, incident wasn't good. We brought back, we restrained Bagot, brought him back, and Bagot seems to, well, you can watch this recording. He pulls up a recording, it pops up, and it's Bagot saying like, he's like, I've been married to Jessica for years. We have a child. It's just kind of him going, and there's like, it's like one of the counselors from the colony talking to him about this, and the counselor's like, well, where did you first meet her? And Vicus kind of thinks, and he's like, oh, it was like at a bar at this time, and the counselor's like, well, you understand that like Declan had been married to her for 5 years by that point. That's where you met her. And he's like, no, we have a kid and everything, and you can see that like Vicus is getting really confused, and he doesn't seem to be able to like keep a timeline straight, and he's like getting more and more frustrated as he's hearing this. The stuff kind of comes up. Andrew's like, so yeah, basically it looks like Vicus was a longtime family friend. He's actually the godfather of their kid. And there's no indications that him and Jessica are having an affair. Jessica denies it. We have no indications through ship records of any of this stuff. Any people that know them have no indications of it. Even the prenatal records of their son, of the child, indicates that Declan is the father. So nothing here to pull Bagot's story. None of it makes sense. Well, look, we're currently kind of in a conundrum because we're not sure what to do going forward. We've quarantined the entire biosurvey team. We thought maybe some of us, we're all kind of quarantined. That's where I'm at right now. Maybe some of us have been exposed to something, but we're not sure if we should either head back up to the ship and undergo some psychological evaluations, or just bring down another team to study us and check on us and make sure we're okay. I've sent over some initial records for both Declan and Vicus, along with the other biosurvey team. We're not sure what's going on, but right now we're putting the biosurvey duties on hold. So that's kind of where we're at here. Vicus is currently been incarcerated in the best way we can here. He's isolated chambers, and we're making sure he doesn't have access to anything that can be of danger to himself or others. Look, everyone down here is nervous. We're not sure what to do next. Well, let us know what you want to do with the team. If you want to send us back up the well, or if you want to have them come down here. We look forward to it, and whatever kind of resources you can bring up here that might help with the biosurvey would be deeply beneficial. Andrew's out, and it cuts out. And it's got some data sets associated with it too. Like you have like kind of medical records of the various team members that are out there, stuff like that. So,
do they do toxicology reports on them or anything?
Oh yeah, those are all included.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like they're full blown medical records. So they have like toxicology reports. They haven't done full blown like physicals on them. Like they haven't brought down a team yet to go on it, but they're not sure if they want to bring them down or send them back up. That's the question. And there's no other incidences. Like none of the other people have these kind of delusions. just these two. This one guy had this one hardcore delusion, and has no history of like any kind of like mental illness or. It's weird, and you can tell that Anders is weird. Like it's pretty easy. Like even like you can be pretty obtuse, and you can tell that Anders is freaked the fuck out by the shit. The whole colony's kind of freaked out. All like 200 of them out there are freaked out about it.
Really don't think we'd want him to go back to the ship, would we?
Oh no.
I think it'd be better to quarantine him there.
Yeah.
Send a team. Yeah.
Send a team. I mean, yeah. It sounds like I knew a Koyo once. He killed another person's wife, but there was actually involvement there. This one, he sounds like some making him delusional. Yeah, made him. He needs to have a checkup.
Check up from the neck up. Is that what we're doing? Yeah. Gotta do a classic. Sorry, that was. I older parents know something that was pretty funny. Okay, Medea, you're hearing all this. The words like quarantine and medical records, and it's all.
Yeah, I mean, she knows like what it is, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Can I like know what's going on?" Because she knows she can help if she knows what's going on. She can run some tests.
Well, it's also been pretty boring on the ship, and you have about another like week or so until you make the transit. This would be something to do.
Yeah, she'd definitely be able to, and very excited to help.
I'll kind of lean into the captain and be like, I'll just point where Medea can't see me and be like, maybe she can look it over. And she's the only one here with that kind of training. I mean, I could look at it, but it's not going to make a damn bit of sense to me.
Yeah, I think that's a solid idea.
Hey, science lady.
I have a name. Thank you.
All right, Miss Science Lady, what do you think about looking at this and seeing what you can come up with it before we get, there? And maybe we can figure out a good plan.
Finally be something to do, so I can do it.
It's probably like right up your alley.
Yeah.
Biology, right? What is it you study?
Yeah, just like that, definitely.
Yeah. A little rocket science. You'll figure it out, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely not. It's like definitely not a totally different field of what I do.
And if you need any help, we can loan you McMichaels as an assistant. It's pretty good.
Her eyes kind of go wide at the sound of an assistant. Like, really?
I mean, pharmaceuticals, drugs.
He knows mostly about the kind that you grow. mostly of the fungal variety. Who says there's not magic in space? No.
Space magic.
If you're willing to look at it, we would be, greatly appreciative of you.
I would be willing to look at it. Yes.
All right, I like this. So you're given access to the data set, and you can look at it anywhere on the ship. You can sit in the galley and just have access to the coffee machine the whole time. By the way, the coffee is topped off, the food is topped off, the water is topped off on the ship. The only thing you guys are down is ammunition and torpedoes. But yeah, you're welcome to set up anywhere you want to. You do have access to the med bay, which has a small kind of lab in it, but it's not great. It's mostly just meant for like first aid, and mostly for major trauma, not like doing analysis on like bacteria, but like major trauma type things. It's an ER basically.
We can make it work.
You can make it work, right?
I'll make it work.
It's just a scale issue, is all it really is. But yeah, you have access to all those kind of things, and you also have access to your own data pad and such. And obviously, the spectro analysis machine that you guys have on the ship is all completely just dismantled and put into a crate. So there's no place to set that up. I'll say that.
Yeah. Okay, we'll make it work.
You'll make it work. All right. So Medea, you kind of take a look at this stuff off the bat here. Why don't you let's go with the initial test. Which skill do you want to use off the bat? Like, what do you want to look at in these records initially in these data sets?
Can I maybe do intuition?
Okay. Yeah, give me an intuition check. Let's just do intuition. Let's see where your biosense is tingling.
Okay, I have got a 17.
Okay.
With just
17. Okay. So, and what'd you go on the dromedary?
I got a 4.
4. Okay, that's pretty good. So you start looking through the records and you start thinking about the situation, and your first inclination is, well, what do all these people, like, what do these guys have in common? These two seem to have a friendship that went back like a decade or so. So they've been colleagues for a long time. That was pretty well established. They said the one guy was the other guy's kid's godfather. So that's like, there's something must have changed.
Yeah.
Is kind of what it was. And this confusion is kind of a weird thing too. So something changed. So you can start looking at like the more recent medical records. Probably would be the choice.
Yeah. Can I get like just basic biological facts
Sure.
about them, like different like stats?
One of them is no longer alive. We'll start with the basic readout. So they're both from Earth. So they're both Earthers. They grew up under normal gravity. They both went through different programs though. And as far as biologically goes, they seem healthy. They're not from Earth. Actually, I'm sorry. They're from Mars.
Okay.
And they both had complete physicals before going on this trip, so they were both pretty healthy. The one thing that's kind of give me a research test. This would be intelligence research if you have that one. As you kind of dig through the records. I'm not sure if you have that one or not.
I do not, but it's okay. I'll just do.
This is intelligence, yeah.
Yeah. That is a 18.
18. Okay. So you dig through. You kind of start looking through it, and like they both had to undergo. They were both part of the biosurvey team, which was kind of moved the calendar up. So basically, there was like a time frame to bring them down, and it looks like they brought them down the well faster than they probably should have. They brought them down to the planet. Like they're supposed to undergo different treatments to make sure they don't like basically get sick under the gravity. But these two guys were like on a fast track somehow. Like we're talking like almost like 4 times faster than they should have been done.
Okay.
But that would be more that they would be more likely to have like cardiac arrest, not psychosis. Gravity does some weird stuff to your body, but psychosis is not one of them.
Yeah. Did the dead guy, did they have any sort of autopsy afterwards? Like anything that we could test?
He was stabbed in the neck and blood loss. As far as like they could do a toxicology on him, they did do that, and they did one on the other guy as well. And they actually had toxicology reports on the whole team. Everybody was like checked for foreign agents. I'm digging through them. No like foreign bodies, so no one was sick. They weren't finding any like there was some foreign microbes in their systems, but like those that as far as the data set goes, those haven't like been shown to be able to infect humans. So their proteins don't line up. So it's one of those situations where like you could eat the stuff on the planet, but it won't feed you. You can't derive nutrients, so it doesn't line up. But they so that stuff's not really a problem. There is there are standard drugs for like what you would have for like part of nutritional like vitamins and all that kind of stuff going on. But you do see one thing on the list of toxicology that you have no idea what it is.
Okay.
And it's listed as I'll type it in the chat for you. It's listed as this.
Okay. Can I look through my data pad to see if I can find anything on it?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, you can access like a thing. It'll take a few hours for you to do a full search here, but you do it.
Yeah, sure.
So you go ahead and you start pulling that, and like nothing matches this name. This thing called N18-AG doesn't show up on anything.
Okay. Okay. Can I like ask anyone else if they've heard of it?
Okay. Who do you want to ask on the crew? Michael seems to know a lot about drugs. That's the rumor. And then Waxor also has.
I mean, maybe I had it. I don't know.
Okay.
I'll know when I see it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll probably try and talk to Waxor about it.
So
Not
Waxer,
really familiar with Michaels.
so Waxer, you get a call from Medea up in the galley, or do you want to approach him down in engineering?
Yeah. I'll see what.
Okay.
Yeah. What's going on? I don't know. I can help you with the stuff, but yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
here.
I've been doing research into the toxicology reports to see if there's any like drugs or something that would cause these hallucinations and just overall confusion. And I came across this drug called N1-AG, and I can't find any reports in it in any of my research. And considering you are you, I was wondering if you had any knowledge on what that was and if that could be a contributing factor.
And what you say? Here's the thing, yeah. Waxer doesn't know anything that happened to him, mostly, except maybe what Zenny. We had some records, and you know what, Doc? You have some of my blood, so maybe that sample has this thing you're looking for, but I don't think it rings a bell for Waxer, right?
No, the name doesn't ring any bells. Yeah.
But you don't think these coils did just something make him go crazy, huh? And
It has to be. I don't think there's anything else. Everything else looked pretty normal. So once I figured out what this is, hopefully we get to be on the right path.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you need to take more blood, you let me Waxer know. I'm gonna go back down to check the substrate.
Okay.
Dirt and shit moving around.
Yeah. Can I go talk to McMichaels now?
Sure.
I don't really know who he is, but
he's a mechanic on the ship.
okay. I don't think Medea's ever met him.
Yeah,
you're in for a surprise.
Yeah. So you going down into the machine shop, and they have their own bunks down in the machine shop. There's actually like an engineering additional bunks down there.
Okay.
It's a weirder place. It's not as nice. I don't think it's not as nice, but it's very practical, we'll say.
Okay.
And they have like their fabricator and all their tools and everything. And you come in there and you see this belter standing there. He's got kind of unshaven a little bit here and there, wearing a jumpsuit, kind of hanging out. Place smells a little bit kind of weird, a little more organic than the rest of the ship.
Okay.
And,
little danky.
And he sees you coming down and goes, "Hey, what's going on, man?"
Hi. She's like a little cautious. She's kind of like grossed out. She's like trying to make herself as small as possible.
And Waxer's down there, and there's other people down there too. So it's not just him, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Doc. You never met McMichaels. This is the drug doc.
Oh, the drug doc, man. You make them cocktails?
I do. Or I used to. I don't really get it anymore.
Then she did stuff with babies on Ganymede, helping all that. But she got a question for you. So be nice and you answer them all.
No problem, man. I got no problem with that. What's going on?
I need to know if you've heard of a drug called N1-AG.
Never heard of it, man. Is that like a new one of those new custom little hallucinogen things they do on like a new pixie dust or something?
I was hoping you'd know about it. There's no information on it on any of my data pads, any research done. I can't find anything.
Okay, man. No, I don't know anything about that, man. I don't. If it ain't like some street thing, might be some new street thing. Is it a street drug? Is that what it is? Is there someone going to Medina? Are we going to Medina and getting this stuff?
No.
Oh.
I was not aware of any plan. I don't think it'd be a good idea.
I mean, Doc, really know about.
Maybe.
What's up?
I said maybe he'd take your blood sample. Maybe something in there.
I mean, I'm not going to say no. The only way to get more data is doing more research. So if you were willing.
I don't know what it would have to do with me. I don't got nothing like that. He's like, it sounds like a practical drug. I'm more into the less practical drugs.
I don't think it was a practical drug. It was causing some craziness, as one would say.
Oh, well, you want the crazy? You talk to this guy. He's the one that kind of offers the rocker once in a while, right?
I like elbow him.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, Medea.
Sorry, I can't help you, man. That's beyond me. I know how to fix a ship.
Okay.
I can tell you which lubricants in here taste the best.
Oh, can you?
Don't.
Well, I can tell you what gets you drunk the fastest. That's what I know mostly. But we usually try to keep it a little more organic, so we don't.
Yeah, we're not trying to make her dumber. That's just
No,
for
that's all I
us.
really know.
Okay.
Not my field. Yeah, this guy's like, I mean, he knows about like kind of street drugs, like recreational, we'll say, but not like whatever the hell this is. This is some weird prototype advanced stuff or something
Okay.
that's unheard of. Yeah.
Can I go talk to Wyatt and Myrtle
Sure.
just to see if I can find any information?
Okay. Wyatt and Myrtle.
Yeah.
You guys meet up with the galley or wherever it may be.
Yeah. So she'll like explain, like she's doing this she's looking through the toxicology reports. She's trying to figure it out, but she doesn't know what the N1AG drug is. Trying to get some information on that. Or who else I could talk to get more information about that kind of stuff.
Could we send something back to
You haven't
Prax?
said anything back. You could certainly put a request in.
I would definitely do that first and foremost. I mean,
Okay.
especially if it's a drug or if it's a parasite or we don't know what it is exactly. If they've given it a name, they should know what it is at least.
That's kind of the trip of it, is like there is a name to it. Like they seem to know what it is there, but out here no one knows what it is.
Yeah, it's we need to send a request back. I mean, if you want me to do that, I can do that real quick, and then
That would be great.
I don't know how long it'll take, but
About a day. You might get a response back in
We
a
got
day.
time.
I'll send a request back towards them and see if it's something that can give us any information on.
Great.
They follow up. Anders, it takes about a day. You're kind of sitting there twiddling your thumbs. Then it comes back. Anders pops up with a thing. Basically, what it is that they were offered. So the biosurvey team was up on the Jersey Kinross, the colony ship, and the biosurvey team was undergoing gravity treatments.
Okay.
And what occurred was they were offered a drug by Celeste Blue to move that timetable up dramatically.
Okay.
So Star's Edge said they developed something, and they offered it, and the whole biosurvey team elected to take it, and it advanced. Instead of having to undergo 6 months of treatment, they had to undergo maybe a month of treatment.
Okay.
So it's some sort of gravity drug.
Would we know if this is probably related to Waxer's blood?
Can I do tests on Waxer's blood? Do I have anything that could do that?
Maybe it's not for everybody.
Use your own risk. Why? I mean, they had access to it, and that was part of the deal you made with them, and they were really interested in it. And this could be potentially an application of it. It's also, and you suspect that the colonists wouldn't have known about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could. Anders does shoot back some information about it, and the administering of it. It is intravenous, and he shows some of the. They send back kind of a chemical analysis of it. What it is. It's pretty advanced though. It's something you would need some serious lab work to try to synthesize. You couldn't do it on the ship for sure. There's no way. No way you could synthesize on the ship right now.
Okay. So did everyone take the drug?
Yeah,
everyone?
the whole biosurvey team. There was actually discussion. They had discussed if they only wanted, if they didn't want to take it, or if only half wanted to try it. But it looked like the entire team took it.
And did only the one guy die from it, or the only one guy died?
Well, so he didn't die from it. He died from getting stabbed in the neck.
But did anyone else?
Different.
Did anyone else report any sort of psychosis?
Anders kind of says, as far as reports go, there's a little, there's some psychometrics that come through a little bit here. They do have some AI like analyzing psychometrics before they brought the team down to analyze these people. And it just says that they're more connected, they're friendlier.
Okay.
They seem to be more. The level of team empathy has gone up a little bit. Noticeably so on the psychometrics.
Okay.
Maybe it affects everybody a little different.
No two trips are the same, man.
And they were all Martians?
Yeah, the whole biosurvey. Most of the people on this colony are Martians. Probably about 95% of them.
I mean, maybe Wax has got to lead them on this gravity drug side trip.
Called the gravity trip.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you what a real slingshot looks like. But yeah, so that seems to be like the one thing that was introduced recently. But no one complained of any physical side effects. Like everyone said, it was actually like a wonder, like quote unquote wonder drug in terms of like gravity treatments. Their muscle and bone mass has been really good. No illness. It's cut down the nausea. The agoraphobia is gone. I mean, it's like shocking. Based on what you're reading from this is like a miracle drug breakthrough.
Okay.
But it does kind of it does raise the flags of having something in common with what Waxer does, or his whole physical. Although his seems a little more extreme.
Yeah. So I'd need to do more tests on his blood before I can really even start to make a conclusion.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can't even guarantee that this is a side effect from that. Or
I mean, we'll see what's in
anything.
his blood once we do the test, but I don't think I can really do that on the ship unless.
No.
Yeah.
There's no advanced lab on the ship. Medina Station, though, absolutely 100% will have these things.
Okay.
They have a very like top of the line. Like they literally built this hospital the last year and a half, so it's pretty impressive. Yeah.
I guess I'll share the findings. Like tell Waxer at least what I'm gonna do, considering it.
Well, it looks like Myrtle has something to say, and I want to hear what Myrtle has to say.
I'm gonna send I'm gonna be just like real casual about it and send a message to Wyatt and Waxer and Zenny and just says, is this something that you think we should back channel to Pope? Because
he already knows. There's no way he doesn't know.
Yeah, I bet you he already. Yeah.
Yeah, but see if he will share. You know,
Yeah.
just like, hey, there's this thing. Why don't you share what you know?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think that is. I mean, granted, I fully believe that if it's a part of this, that he knows about it.
Right.
100%.
Okay.
And
we'll do that kind of away from everybody and whatnot.
back channeling him will be a lot easier on Medina Station than here. Less relays. Okay. All right. You guys keep on making the transit and come up to the ring, making the transit, going through it. It's weird going through it. You guys have all gone through it. Medea, the best way to describe going through the ring, like in terms of the physical effects, it's like the same physical effects as if you turned left.
Okay.
Like nothing changes, but you can see from outside the ship you are in a completely different space. Like you've it's just a flat ring, and then like all of a sudden there's like space on the other side of it that didn't exist on the other when you were going through it. So but it doesn't feel disorienting. You don't feel any physical effects. It's like turning left.
Okay.
That's how Holden describes it in one of the books, I think. So yeah. But you come through and you can see this huge, the huge kind of space with all these little like spaced out rings all around, evenly distributed through it. In the middle is a glowing kind of purplish blue sphere that's at the center of it. Not like a huge glow, it's not like a sun. It's just kind of like it just kind of floats there. But beyond that, you can see between you and there is Medina Station, this like 2 kilometer long vast ship, formerly known as the Behemoth, formerly known as the Naboo, just sitting there. Not even in orbit. That's the thing. It doesn't even have to orbit. It just kind of sits there. There's no like gravity inside this place at all. I mean, it's like nothing's pulling on anything else. So that's and it is vacuum inside, to be clear. But yeah, you guys make the transit. Get the call from Medina Station to make a docking procedure and everything like that to your schedule. You are on time. Anything else you guys want to do before we dock at Medina Station?
Nothing. No.
Nope.
Zenny's elected to stay on board with Deanne to make sure no one comes on board like that. McMichaels wants to go take some shore. He didn't get much time out on Ganymede, so he can stick some shore leave here. And so does Critty and the other crew members, including Mikhail wants to bounce around. So,
Totally hypothetical.
yeah, sure.
If I found a way to produce some N1AG, would he be willing to take it so I could see what it does?
The issue is that so if it is a gravity drug, you would need gravity to test it under, and there's like you'd have to go fly the ship around in circles for a while.
But would he be willing to do it?
McMichaels?
Yes.
This sounds amazing. I like this. Just flying around with McMichaels on it.
He okay, yeah, McMichaels, you come back and talk to him, and he's kind of like, he's like, I don't know, man. I feels a little arrow-y. You want to experiment on a belter?
It's for the greater good.
You're telling me you were initially asking what this, if I had ever heard of this. I'd never heard of it, and now you want to give it to me, man?
I would
I
do
don't know.
proper research first. I can do this.
I don't know, man. I'd have to talk to the XO. I got duties on ship, man. I gotta fix the ship here all the time. They always putting holes in it. I want to make sure I don't lose my duties.
I was just asking
Well,
for science.
no, I appreciate that. That's cool, but like, why don't we let me give you an answer after I get some shore leave. I want to get off the station, man. I want to get on the station, see what they got. I want to, I want to go see. I gotta see this thing. I gotta go see this thing.
You want to fly around and be a guinea pig?
Yeah. It is like a from Medina station. It's like a 4-week trip up to Mason's Haven, 5-week trip or something like that. It's a pretty long trip, so you guys do have some time there. But yeah, you dock up, no problem. Get on the station. There is a loading crew there with the substrate. They're there to pick it up and everything. It's kind of nice having someone else unload your ship for you. You do kind of like, you do help them out, like get it all set up here and everything. You do also have this spectral analyzer if you want to bring it back. That is now no longer something that they need back there, but you did kind of tell Prax you weren't going to you were going to give it back, sort of, I think was kind of the deal.
Yeah, I guess I try to I would arrange it to maybe get shipped back, maybe a ship heading back in that direction.
You have a ship back where you could take it with you, or even sell it. There's a lot of different options here. There's always demand for those things, so there's some options here. But yeah, you guys get off the state, you get onto the dock, onto the problem to the side of the hull here. You're kind of in the spin on it, and it's you're about, I think it's like 10 levels or something like that, like before you get to the top, to the inside of the drum where like the real action is. But there's people living down here. There's like mechanical stuff going on, a lot of air recyclers. I mean, it's all just kind of like all these systems are embedded into the hull, and it's pretty damn thick. But what do you guys want to do once you go to Medina? Let's go with Myrtle.
I'm just gonna go check in. Just kind of check in with just checking if there's anything that you need to know, checking if there's anything that's moved since last time we were here or where stuff is. Make a note to everybody to go find the plaque that we put up for Dingo and, that kind of thing. Just kind of get the lay of the land and see if there's anything that's for, specific to captains coming up on board that I would need to know and maybe filter down to the team.
There's not really anything you have to really do because you are scheduled to be here and such. There is like a variety of advertisements for different, like there's casinos, there are licensed brothels, there are like bars, there's like, raves, there's like tasting, like food tasting things now. It's kind of interesting, like people actually like Belgium's getting access to like grown food out of like dirt versus like fungal foods or synthetic stuff. So there's a lot to do here. It seems like a very easy place to spend your money.
Yeah.
But yeah, you go ahead and put into just kind of look around and see what there's to do. And you can certainly stay here too. There are hotels on the inside the drum, and there's also like kind of this room and board inside the walls of the place if you want to not have a view. But the inside the drum is more expensive, we'll say.
Yeah. Well, I want to see how expensive that is and see if I can at least, put aside a space just for, that's in the drum, so we can watch what's going on and maybe have a place where I can crash and that we can have meetings away from other people, but we don't have to go all the way out to our ship.
Oh yeah, there's like private rooms, so that's not a problem at all. Yeah, you can get a room like two levels down really easily. That's like the rooms here, as you remember, are bigger, spacious, and they have been modeled so like they're kind of like suites now. So they're actually referred family units. I mean, this was a Mormon ship, for people that they were told hey, you need to have kids so someone can pilot the ship in 50 years. Otherwise, we're going to be flying autopilot for a while. But
Right.
so there are always like family units you can certainly rent, and they're actually cheaper than the smaller hotel rooms on the inside the drop.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'll look at that instead.
Okay. So you get
That way we can put everybody in there.
Yeah, you get like a 4-unit place. It's like maybe like 1,000 square feet. It's a pretty good sized place. It's got like a kitchen, not a kitchen yet, but like a kitchen, beds, entertainment area. So they've done this so people can live here for a long time, not a problem.
My house isn't even that large.
And it's on Earth. Come on, man!
Well, it is a little bit more expensive.
I have to deal with gravity. Oh my god. But yeah, so you kind of set up that there, you get a place there, no problem.
Okay.
Someone else, and that seems to be a place where everyone can come and go. Wyatt.
I would like to send a message back to Mason's Haven and see if there is anything that they need while we're here because we're going there next.
They sent all that over. A lot of it more is that they really wanted the second colony ship to expand the colony faster, but now that's not going to happen. They're interested in bringing on people that one of the problems they have is that they have a lot of Martians with them, and the Martians are either trained as military or scientists. They can do the work, but they honestly want more laborers. They want people, which I don't want that to sound bad, but they need people that can basically just do the grunt work of the colony that has to happen. Cleaning stuff, checking stuff. I mean, that's just how it has to be.
I mean, is there a way that I could is there a billboard?
Billboards. Oh yeah, there's people coming and going all the time.
I would I'll just go search for that and see, if there's anything that as many people as we can get, I guess.
Well, look, I was gonna do this anyways later in the show, but we're gonna do it right now since you asked. We're gonna do a colony growth check.
Yeah.
So colony growth check. I figured what you described is literally a colony growth.
Yeah.
So why don't we'll let Wyatt do the honors tonight since you're the one that asked for it.
Do it.
I'm a little scared.
So you go ahead and you ruin it for everybody, and you get so the way this works once again is that you get to pick the highest ability of the what is it? Growth check performance every 3 months. Simple test. Highest ability of the colony. So that is infrastructure. Their infrastructure is really strong here. So it's a +2 right now. Since you're on the ground doing this and you're being personable, I'll give you an extra +1 to this check since you're actually doing the actual work here, put a face to it as it would be. But go ahead and roll 3d6 and add 3 to it total. And the target number for this is an 11 because it is a mildly challenging scape. It isn't a standard landscape. The colony is.
So I got 14.
14 will do it. Okay. Did you get any doubles?
2 3s.
2 3s. What was your dromedary?
3.
3? Okay. So what that does is that you do get to do a colony growth stunt, which is where we get to add to the colony. So you got 3 stunt points. You can do one of the following. You can add a trade network. So now it's on the trade network system. So people will come and go. It helps give the colony access to more gear. You could have a specialist. You actually recruited someone who's really good at basically doing something. This basically makes a certain stunts cost less for the colony in the future. You could put a redundancy on it, which increases the resolve. You could also what's it going here? Send some items back that would be helpful. Or you could also re-increase the stability of the colony. That is it's quote unquote hit points, if you will.
Is our stability good right now?
The current stability is
I know that actually.
It's sitting at 20, yeah. So you could up that by 3 to 23. That would help in the future to make sure the colony sustains basically. It's not a bad tactic.
Yeah, especially if we're not around for periods of time. I would like to have this stability. I think that'd be all of them sound great and they will all have major benefits. But I really don't want it to collapse while we're
trade work. Yeah, a trade network doesn't do us any good if it's gonna just collapse.
Okay, so you spend the stunt points on it, and you now have you rebuild. So the colony does a little bit of rebuilding with it.
Nice.
It wasn't that anything was really damaged, but they expand the capabilities a little bit here and there, so it's a little bit better. But yeah, good growth check. Stuff works out well, and this ability can be spent in the future when you do these con checks. You can spend it to manipulate the dice rolls. It's kind of like our fortune, but it doesn't. The colony doesn't heal naturally. You have to roll again. Yeah. Okay. Do you want them to work on operations as well? The current operation of researching flora and fauna is on hold for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you could have them go back on that, or you could have them, and the advanced hydroponics is resolved. They were doing pretty good with the flora and fauna. Do you want to send, but the biosurvey team is under quarantine. You also could have them, what do you want them to do? Like, what's the project you want them to work on? Or you ask Medea. I mean, you could also do the researching the guys. What happened? They could maybe.
That's what I was going to say. I'd like them to spend their time and effort on figuring out what happened. If there's something that we need to be on the lookout for when we get there.
I think that's a wonderful plan.
Sounds great. Okay, so that'll be a science check. I'm gonna, because you have Medea kind of consulting, you send some data back. I'm gonna give you an extra +1 on this. So we'll let Medea roll. But Medea, roll the 3d6 and add 2 to it. And let's see if you can help out the colony with this operation.
And I add what to it?
Just a total of 2.
Oh, okay. Then I got a 15.
15. Okay, and they got a okay. Yeah, you beat it out. Roll for me real quick. Basically, this is like the best way to describe it is like these plot actions is. Did you get doubles on that?
No.
Okay. The best way to describe it is it's kind of like it's like colony combat. I guess is the best to describe it. Go ahead and roll 2d6 and add 1 to it, and let me know what you get for that. That's how much you deal to this thing here.
I got an 11.
That's pretty good. Okay. So you go up and they start making some breakthroughs on this, and they're underway. It looks like they're underway. They already started it. They sent the team down. They've had some more colony members here, but they're underway figuring out what happened to these people. But there's no real data to add to the circumstances. But they are underway of figuring out what happened to these people.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Back to Waxer. Anything you want to do on the station, or we go to Medea also?
I mean, the only thing Medea would want to do is start like doing the research on Waxer's blood. So I don't know if there's a lot she can do right now.
You can try to get to you go to the hospital is probably the best place to do this at. They have like a bio research lab. There also are research laboratories for like agriculture here and everything like that too. But this sounds more human oriented, we'll say.
I mean, do I gotta be there?
We're going to make this kind of an advanced check here. Oh, by the way, everyone, for delivering the goods, you guys all have a +1 temporary income bonus. So
nice.
Don't forget about that.
Yeah,
I need money. Help me with money.
I want to go gambling. Yeah.
Okay, so Medea, why don't you give me a how do you want to approach this? Like, what would you do? So you have this blood sample. You kind of have the write-up on this N1 N1AG stuff. You're trying to compare notes here. You have had access to Waxer's blood, but you didn't have a great way of transporting it, and you didn't have like as advanced gear. You do know that it promotes like bone growth and muscle density. Whatever his is doing does it much more than these guys did for sure, though. This seems to be a little more extreme. But yeah.
Okay. I mean,
What's
she's
that?
gonna. I mean, I want to find out like what's in his blood, and then probably compare it to like the Martians. Like, I know it's gonna be different, but like if I can see any differences in.
Give me a what would you call it? Medicine or biology? Probably medicine.
I have the same.
The same thing.
Both of them, so I'll just do that.
All right, so this involves pharmaceuticals, so you get additional +1, so you have +6 to this total. I should also mention that you get to re-roll any 1s or 2s you roll on this check.
Okay.
Because you're a doctor.
Got a 19.
19. Oh. Okay. And what did you get on the drama die?
I got a 6.
Oh, all right. Okay. You get like a day in the lab, and you start going through it all, and it is progressing. You start breaking down the structures of his blood and kind of seeing these unique elements you're isolating. whatever it is, it seems like it's self-perpetuating, so you don't have to keep on taking doses of it. It kind of sustains. But it seems to have some sort of way of like maintaining. The one thing you do learn off the bat is that it does go past the brain line.
Okay.
So that's like, for those who don't know, like you might have like medications that don't make it to your brain. They don't mess with your, but like certain antidepressants don't actually affect your brain. They only affect your physicality to abate things. It's kind of, but this one does go into the brain. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're learning, and that was a hell of a roll. So, so Medea kind of retires to the thing here. McMichael Waxer, man, he's like, all right, man, I gotta see this scene. We gotta see it.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, let's go spend some credits. Let's go gamble. Sell these parts of this thing we don't need, the spectral analysis thing we don't need.
Man, you better ask the cap first. That's a cap decision, man. I don't want you.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, if we're gonna leave the station, I want you to come with me. So.
I know. I put it in, in the dock to see if anybody could take it back to Prax. But yeah, we got some credits. Let's go roll for the substrate.
All right, so you start. You go up through and you come up to the this area that's called the, what did I call it again?
The souk.
The souk. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like flashing. There's like tons of food places. There's like people trading goods. It's like a much more cleaner than like what you saw in Series. It's like Series was kind of like a hodgepodge of like where they mined it and then they then they put living quarters in there. This is more like a sectioned out. You remember when you saw the drum raw without anything on top of it? Like it was like what are those called? The platforms where they build places, like the plots or whatever they are. It was very sectioned out. And this you can see has streets and everything going on, and very evenly spaced, nice and clean. It's pretty shocking.
Yeah, this is wild. Yeah.
And he's like, okay, man. So where are we gonna hit first, man? We gonna go? You want to hit a bar? You want to go watch some shows? What you want to do, man?
I want to spend these credits and let's gamble on some slingshot races or gamble on something. It's been a while for Waxus, so he's ready to try his luck. Okay. Yeah.
And you go into one of these bars that kind of has like entertainment. There's like slingshot racing by all means. And there's like some in like new systems. That's what's interesting. There's some slingshotters going beyond the rings. And it's really like weird to watch some of these things where like you're using the gravitational pulls of these weird new planets like race through stuff. But they're also gambling on things like there's like some sports here on the station. There's like a local league where they use like the spinning drum along with like the wind that actually blows through it to try to like see how far along the 2-kilometer line they can actually like use like a parachute suit to get across.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Yeah.
And there was like kind of, and like it's actually quasi-legal is the thing. They don't like people trying to like fly over the crops is the issue.
No crop dusting.
Pretty much, yeah. Let's go. No, I appreciate that one. But yeah, you and there's also like upcoming events. It looks like they're actually building like an event hall here on the station right now. That'll be done in like a few weeks or so. But there's like planned out events. Looks like some sort of like sports entertainment things, or like a fighting league or something. They're building together, but it's stuff like that. It's kind of, there's all kinds of experimentation with what you're doing. The beer is good. It's actually pretty fresh. It's not fungal based. It's actually like grain based.
Wow. Yeah. Lots of changes. This is a good place. I mean,
yeah, man.
Good place to settle.
Yeah. So McMichaels buys the first round. He makes the income test. You get charged to make the second round. See if you can make it real quick.
All right.
You have the extra +1, the temporary +1. So.
All right, so I got 12, 2 5s,
okay.
5 on the draw.
Yeah, you go ahead and you keep the money going. You guys have a few rounds. It's a nice time. McMichaels is he's been kind of intrigued at looking at like he wants to see what the brothels are like. He's kind of intrigued by a few different things. He does talk a little bit about the black market stuff on here, but he's not really interested in pursuing it. He wants to check out the legit stuff first.
Yeah. Yeah, since it looks like a lot of this stuff is okay now, like gambling and all this. We leave the black market stuff for later. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't want to get us in trouble, man. I want to be able to leave the place.
No, yeah.
And you do see there are security forces that do patrol the place. The place is well secure. You haven't seen any instances of like people fighting. Everyone's more concerned with like all the, I don't want to say money being made, but like the opportunities that are being provided are ample.
This is good. This is like a Belta city. I feel looks like feels safe.
And you're actually seeing like more Earthers than you've ever seen. Like or more Earthers and Martians. There's no like high proportion of any. There's definitely a majority Belters still here, but like Earthers and Martians are coming and going constantly. And you see children. I mean, it's like a trip to be out this far and see all that stuff. Especially considering your storyline of being out here during the slow zone incident. So
yeah. I can't believe how much it bounced back, but I'm just gonna I guess I'll look for a legit, or I'll see if there's anything to sort of like bet on or go in.
Okay. You bet on some slingshot racing. Go ahead and give me a gambling test.
Yeah.
See if you can pick up what the good one is.
If I see
how much of your income are you gonna gamble?
Oh, all of it.
What's your current? You have the +1.
One. I got at least 1 plus.
So your little bonus that came into make a gambling test and see if you can do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for a jackrabbit to bet on if there's a slingshot race. Oh. How my luck has changed. That'll be a total 9 with 2 3s.
Yeah. Unless you want to blow some fortune on this.
Yeah. Why not?
All right. What was your lowest number on that?
2.
2. Was that the drama die or was that regular?
No, that was just a regular.
So you
die.
can spend 6. You can spend 6 fortune and up that to a 13.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. You managed to break even for the night.
Yeah, that's a good night. That's a good night.
Yeah. Keep on playing the game.
Yeah.
Wyatt and Myrtle, the two of you kind of like just enjoying the time off. It's nice to kick your feet. You get to enjoy some more like the beer's a little more Earth-like versus the fungal-based stuff. There's like actual food being served up. Do you guys have anything you want to do on the station?
I just want to kind of explore it because we haven't seen it in this state, right? It's like almost
you saw
new to it.
You've seen it where they were starting to build this stuff when you were out here with Theia years back to get the initial colony ship going.
Mm-hmm.
But it's it's like a full-blown city now. There's like it's weird. There's alleyways. There's like neon signs. Your first time really here, this place was a war zone. Right. And now it's like, you literally saw all these places where these buildings were like lined with like people bleeding out. It's way different than it was like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and they're still building.
I want to explore a little bit. I want to find Dingo's plaque. I'll do this kind of on my own, though, on my own time, just to get away for just a minute. You
go pay your respects. It's not a problem. The plaque is still there. It seems like most of the development on here, most of the stuff they're messing with is inside the drum. That's like the kind of exciting place. Down beneath, like that stuff's mostly just like living quarters or mechanics to make the thing keep everyone alive. So that stuff's pretty. There's some places down there are setting up like some shops, but they're not like they're more of like businesses than anything else. So, okay. Myrtle, you got something?
No, not really. I'm just gonna kind of keep going on. I'm gonna, write to my wife and just kind of give her some updates and see how she's doing.
Yeah, Samraya, she gets back. She gets back to you, and she has like some. She's still on the colony ship. She hasn't gone down the well. Her attitude is that Samilla kind of like gets back to you and says that everyone's kind of shooken up by this. They're by what happened down on the surface, and that they're kind of like it's got a few people scared to go down there. They think there might be something infectious. And they've heard stories of weird things like happening on there. There's been some rumors that guys like Holden have had their brain messed with by this stuff, and so there's some kind of weird stuff going on. But she's trying to keep it together. She does miss you, and But she says the Jersey Kinross is on target. Everything's on target. It's just this one murder's really demoralized people, to say the least. Do you want to get her? Do you want to get inside information from her, or have her look for any information out there? Because she is your inside source. I mean, she is your wife.
Yes.
So like, you could ask her to spy for you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of, when I'm gonna update her on what we're trying to do, and it's just like that. I'm going to send a message to Pope and see if we can get. I don't want to share too much, about what we're doing up here, but just enough to, let her know what, that everything is proceeding up here. We're aware of things that's going on, and to kind of send reassurances.
Her take is this: she thinks that the crew here, because they're Martian, she thinks they trust scientists too much. And she thinks that they're trusting the people at Celeste Blue and Star's Edge too much. They seem to almost blindly take the drugs they were offered from them, just on the promise that it was good. She doesn't think they know that Pope, like, no one seems to know about Pope out here. They seem to just know that there's a corporation called Celeste Blue that's out here, like, has their own little colony that's doing a lot of science stuff.
All right, I'm gonna ask her to keep her eye open or her ears open for anything that she hears coming from Celeste Blue.
Okay.
And just general gossip that people might be having of some of the scientists, and to see if there's anything that indicates why they feel this. That the people are doing that blind trust thing. Is it something that seems like, is it overly so? And any kind of feedback that she could give me, just go into more of an observation mode of things.
Yeah. And she's privy to everything going up and down the well, so that's kind of her edge. It's like, if someone's going to leave the station, she's going to know who it is. So she has good eyes and ears on the circumstance. Okay, so I'll have her be your plant. Speaking of that, let's go to Medea. What do you got? What do you want to work on more? So you got another day. Everyone's kind of gone off. You've been given quarters here on the station too for the crew. They've offered you up one of the rooms in their suite. What do you want to do?
I mean, once Medea starts a project, she doesn't really rest until it's been finished.
I like it.
Yeah, so there's just going to be a lot of researching.
So day two, you start grabbing some coffee and maybe some stims here, and you really go for it. Just give me another medicine check.
Okay.
Once again, you roll 1s and 2s on this, and you have a +6.
Okay. That is a 22.
Dang.
And any doubles on that?
I got 2 5s.
2 5s. Okay. And I take one of the drama dice with a 5.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have a major breakthrough. You start messing with this, and I'm gonna have you blow all your stump points on this just because it'll make it easier for us here. I gotta advance the churn a little bit here because we're going through stump points like crazy. Okay, so here's the deal.
Okay.
You start messing with this, and you have done some stuff on like pharmaceuticals in terms of like hallucinogens and like how stuff affects the brain.
Yeah.
And what's tripping you out about this Waxer's blood is it does have elements, these elements of it that do make it past the brain line, so they do make it into the brain.
Uh-huh.
And this, whatever this thing is, you suspect this derivative is readily making it pass into the brain.
Okay.
And it seems to promote the growth of basically promote the growth and pathways of like neurological development.
Okay.
But it's unclear if it's doing that generally or in a specific way.
Okay.
Your suspicion with intuition and your research is that it is doing it in a specific way that may not just be the most conducive, or not most conducive, but it can have weird side effects.
Okay. So that's probably where the whole psychosis thing came from, if I'm thinking about this right?
Yeah, there seems to be some sort of way that like this, it's not just stimulating the growth of the muscles and the bones, but there seems to be some sort of side effect in terms of neurological development or changes or shifts.
Okay.
It is nothing explicit, but it's definitely affecting certain developments, we'll say.
It'd be really nice if this guy was still alive. I'm gonna be honest. Really convenient.
Did you guys request more data back, or what do you guys want to get back from the
Mason's
colony?
data? Yeah, I want as much data as we possibly can. Anything they want to share.
Yeah, they bring so you start looking through this Medea, and like it seems like there's an amplification of, it's not, so it isn't exactly like a true scientific thing, but it's kind of more of a framework of thinking of how the brain operates. And there is it seems to be stimulating parts of like the brain's development that deal with things like pantomime or interpretation.
Okay.
The word that comes to mind from your schooling is like the notion of mirror neurons, which aren't exactly a thing, but they're kind of a way to think about the ways that neurons can fire in response to seeing something. So there's some sort of like, how do I describe this? Like overt development of like beyond empathy almost that can occur.
Okay. I gotta do my own research right now.
Sure. Yeah, usually mirror neurons are thought about in terms of motor skills. Like if you do something in front of your kid, and then your kid repeats it. But it can also be things that are possibly even like emotional or like more memory oriented, especially if you're proximity to them. This is something you could follow up Waxor with.
Okay. Yeah, I will probably go do that.
Okay. Do you want to like meet him in a like where? So Waxor, Medea texts you and tells you wants to meet up. Where do you want to meet Medea? Where would be a good place to meet Medea? Or where would Medea want to?
Yeah, you tell me. Otherwise, I say gambling ring, but
and she's going to say no.
No.
Too loud. It's too loud, Adia. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I come where you are, Doc. No problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's in like the research lab, basically.
I'm out of money.
There's
a commissary at the hospital. I mean, it has to have a commissary at the hospital. It's cafeteria food.
Okay.
So you go to you guys meet in the commissary at the hospital, and I mean, there's people all around just getting their meals, whatever it is. All right. So what's the?
What you found, huh?
Okay, I'm going to attempt to explain this in the most basic way possible so that you can understand it.
Yeah, good.
Your blood has the drug N1AG in it. And this means that your body has had accelerated growth, and there are neurons in your brain that are working at a higher rate than what a normal person's would. And this basically affects your mirror neurons. And I don't think you know what that is. And that's okay.
Yeah, I had you up until I was smarter than all these other Koyos, and then I lost it after that. But okay, yeah.
It's not your job to know. It's okay. Basically, it's like how you interpret things and just how you basically how you interpret things. So I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I just need you to answer as truthfully as possible. Have you had any sorts of fake memories or weird senses of deja vu without actually doing anything?
Waxer takes like a deep breath as he's sort of like, yeah, Doc, it's weird that you're telling me these things. I didn't share this too much, but for a long, long time, Waxer spent many years running and looking. It's hard for me to say because I thought it was real true. But Waxer had memories of a family, a wife, a kid. Yeah, like flesh, blood like you. And I spent time looking for it. Zenny, she helped me look and search, and I mean, everything I did up until a point was looking for my family, and then when I found out they said it was something with my brain from the testing that I didn't actually see it. I never understood it. Yeah, I just thought maybe the Dusta scientists back then they messed with me so much. I was just my brain is not working right. But yeah, this makes sense now that you say it.
Yeah, so basically what happened to you has happened to our good friend the Martian, which is where the psychosis and everything came into play with the whole like thinking he had a whole family despite him very much not.
So that Koyo thought he actually was married to the other guy's his wife, but never happened, and it drove him to violence. But Wax said I never killed. I mean, I killed people, but I didn't. I didn't kill nobody. Yeah, I guess I just. I don't know. It makes it weird because I still don't know sometimes what's actually happened and what's not actually happened. So, but maybe more tests. I appreciate you bringing this up because it makes sense now a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel a little bit more at ease.
That's good. I'm glad I could help. So she's like looking through notes. She's trying to find out anything else she can because she doesn't even really know what other tests to do at this point.
Yeah, one of the trick would be to so this seems like a really promising drug in terms of getting people down the gravity wells much faster, like to the shocking degree. This side effect though is this is a problem.
Worrying.
This is a problem, yeah.
It affect everybody, like every person with the gravity drug will get this delusion, you think?
The delusions and the false memories seem to be a very harsh, dramatic side effect that not everyone has experienced, but there are notes of increased empathy and interpersonal relationships have seen an increase. So I feel there's just so little known about this that I really can't bring in any conclusions right now.
Yeah, I mean, Waxer would hate. I mean, I would hate it for other people to have memories of they thinking they have a family, or thinking they have a love, or they're thinking they lost something. But yeah, they should. We should. Well, let me know. I mean, I'll let you test more on the blood, whatever. Try to make this thing right.
But what you actually do kind of put together that this was replicated off your blood for sure, not as an extreme version of what you've undergone, but also basically tested on these people.
Yeah,
field tested on them. So I don't know if you have anything to say about that.
I mean, yeah, I mean, what they're doing with my blood, it's Waxers. I mean, this feels wrong to me. Yeah. Because yeah, I mean, they don't know what it's going to do. All these people, more people going to die just to get down and work, and they did this to me, and they always tested on Beltas. I mean, now they're testing on everyone, and that's bad. Yeah, we got to tell the findings to Cap, and we got to stop it.
Yeah,
I mean, no more of this.
Yeah, that'd probably be the best course of action. I'd assume.
Good. See, Doc, I knew you had some good ethics in you.
I've had them. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just joking with you. It's okay. Built a humor, and I'm like, give her but yeah, we'll let EXO and Cap know. That's good work. Yeah.
Do
you want to just convey this to the Cap and the EXO? Okay. So Myrtle and Wyatt, you're both in on the information now. Do you have any kind of do you want to just kind of discussion about this?
What do you think, Cap?
Well, I just want to make sure Waxer's, doing okay with all this.
He's a hard one to, read, to be honest. Don't know really what's going on upstairs sometimes. It's not in a negative way. It's not like I don't think he's going to snap on us and rip us in half or something, but he's hard to his emotions are hard to judge.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, it's obvious that there's something, right? There's something. But I don't really, I mean, this is just, I don't know if, I'm just so confused because it doesn't seem like it's, you know, it's the same kind of effect of what's happening down on planet.
I think one thing I know for sure is we need to just maybe stop letting our people. We should really have them not take that before they go down, because, you know, eliminate it, see what happens, see if it still happens. If something, you just never know.
Just to give a number real quick, Medea, approximately 30 people in the colony took this out of about a little over 200 of them that are part of the whole system. So,
Would I have permission to monitor them? I'm going to ask before starting an experiment because I am a good person. I know what I'm doing. I need you guys to know I know what I'm doing.
You would have to go out there. So are you asking to become part of the colony? Because that's certainly a possibility. You could. And yeah. I should mention there's multiple possibilities with this. So one is that you can go out there and become part of Mason's Haven, their colony that these people govern. But you also know that the people that made this drug and figured it out are also out there, Celeste Blue. And they seem to have a lot of scientific gear and equipment and are readily available. Though you've never heard of their company, they seem to be some sort of like nobodies.
And what if you get tempted to join them?
Yeah, so I'm just saying there's a lot of possibilities, but if you are interested in going out to their planet, this is a possibility you could ask them for transit out there.
Definitely is most likely the way I'd want to go. I can't really see myself doing much else.
Well,
considering I kind of had to book it from everywhere that you guys have shown up, I have to leave. So hopefully this time it's a little more permanent.
So that's actually a question, Myrtle and Wyatt. Do you want to bring the scientist back with you that's interested in this ongoings and seems to have some at least base knowledge about what's going on out there?
My vote is 100% yes, Cap.
Yep.
We need more science.
Yep.
I'm gonna in absentia vote for Zanny and say no, but they're not here. So, but yeah, okay. So putting Medea on staff at Mason's Haven is a possibility, and the like. Okay. So we have that as a. I'll be sure to include Medea in our personnel list on that when I update that.
Nice.
Is there anything else you guys want to do on Medina Station before we end tonight? And we're staying here, by the way. We got a few. You guys are still trying to get ammunition and torpedoes, so you guys definitely don't have those back on Mason's Haven.
I would say Wyatt's just going to spend his last bit of time writing up something to send back to the colony of, a decree not to take any more of these injections until we know more about it.
So you could also tell them not to work with Celeste Blue. You can put a mandate on that.
I'll just say a temporary cease, operations with them until we figure out what's going on.
Oh. Okay. Cool. You send that out, no problem. They come back though with a. They come back a day or two later with another kind of interesting request. They said, it's kind of funny. This one's kind of humorous. They say, we actually got a request from Celeste Blue right when we got your thing. It seems like one of their satellites has crashed over the bright side of the planet, and they're asking if they could use one of our satellites. The colony only has 2 satellites for this station, but they're asking if we could look for their satellite's crash location.
I would say something like that, helping out in the location, but only if we're doing it, not hand over.
Yeah,
control.
It would be that. We'll give you. They're basically saying we're going to give you all the last trajectory information we have from our satellite. We don't know exactly where it landed, but we want to make sure that if you could help us find it, would be grateful. So it's nothing like you're not giving them your satellite, but you're saying, hey, we'll look for your thing.
I'll pass that information along to Cap, see if she agrees with me, but if she's okay with it, that's what I would tell them. I don't have a problem with help like that, but no experiments by no means.
Right, exactly.
Okay. So no experimental stuff, okay. All right. Okay. So you guys give them permission to say if they want to look for the satellite, they can. Okay. Cool. Yeah, and it looked like it crash landed on the bright side. That's the kind of weird thing. Right now, as far as you can tell, your guys' satellites have mostly just kind of stay on the dark side of the planet, try to keep that area where you guys actually need communication. You guys actually are. But the bright side is not something you've explored yet. But it sounds like Celeste Blue is trying to check the bright side, which is also where all the alien artifacts are on the planet. No one's spotted anything on this side yet. Just the plant, the flora and fauna analogs as they would. So, okay, cool. Medea, you got anything else you want to do before you kind of take it easy and kind of resource gather here on the station?
I think I am good.
Okay.
Pretty set. Got some work cut out for me.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like a prospect. There's a lot of prospects on this colony. This frontier, going out there, getting to see this stuff. You saw these weird biological data sets they keep on bringing back, and these people seem to be okay with you even just going to the forefront of this weird thing going on. And it sounds like the weird science they're doing out there isn't just on the planet, but also doing it to each other. So hey, everybody's got it. Everybody's got some weird stuff going on. It's a whole new frontier. That's half the fun. All right. So Medina Holtz will be a member of Basin's Haven colony when you guys go and do your transit out there. We're gonna pick it up again in 2 weeks then with more of this and some Medina Station adventures. Yeah, it was a fun time. It was a lot of good, kind of weird science.
Yeah.
We got to pull back on some stuff from Waxer's Pass and the like.
Yeah, that's cool. That was
everybody,
cool
thank you for watching. Thank you for playing with us, Simria. I hope that
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I've had so much fun.
Yeah, thanks for voting and causing some madness. I like that.
Oh my goodness, yes.
What's that?
Them voting and creating some of this cool drama.
Yeah, well, the vote was overwhelming to take the drug. Actually, the vote a few weeks back was like refuse it, give it to just half the members, or give it to everyone, and it was unanimous and like give it to everyone. And I was like, all right,
Y'all.
Yeah.
they were so eager to move up the flora fauna biosurvey.
Nice.
And they're like, oh, this moves it by 4 months. Oh, let's do that. And I was like, all right. And so, but there's some side effects to this stuff, and so we're trying to like kind of go through and figure out what's going on there. And
that's awesome.
It's a hard thing to be on. But I will have a new colony vote up. I'm gonna have it up tomorrow night or Friday at the latest. But I'm back on Sunday with the community game that we've been collaborating on, which is super fun. I'm very excited about that one. And that'll be on this channel for sure. And I think it's gonna be on all the other Green Ronin channels simultaneously. And we got a bunch of people from Green Ronin playing. We got Odin from the fan community. We got Merrick Moore, and we have the writer of the adventure, Guillerme, playing with us too, which should be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to running that little one shot, about 3 hour kind of that one's gonna be weird because that one takes place in the after the Free Navy conflict, and so the frontier is completely open, and it's gonna take place on one of the new worlds, and it's gonna be very it's a little pulpy sci-fi game. It's gonna be kind of fun one. I'm looking forward to that one too. So
Awesome.
But all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Samria, thank you again for playing with us.
Yeah.
It's a blast. Give her a big hand and everything. And I hope you enjoyed the super science, as it would be.
Super science.
Super science. All right, guys. We're gonna bounce out, and we'll see you all around later.
Bye. Bye.